Namaste, hello. Um, I was just thinking, I've had a couple of experiences over the last probably several days that have been a reminder for me of why I truly believe, like in my core, that learning how to listen is so important to creating the world that we want. If you're like me, um, and you're someone who cares a lot, you might be someone who is in a profession that is about serving others. You might be a parent. Um, and in general, it just maybe historically, like ever since you were young, you just, really had a big heart. Then there's probably, but this is what happens to me, might happen to you, when you're witness to other people's pains, like, ugh, like you can feel it. It pains you. Like, and all you want to do is to like dive in and just love and support that person, and take that pain away. The thing is, we can't do that. I have found, as a therapist, one of the biggest learnings I have found is that my job is not to fix people. When I start to come from that place of fixing, then inadvertently I am communicating that what they're experiencing is bad and needs to go away. What we're experiencing when we have pain, it's not bad. It Emotional pain can be like the biggest teacher out there. Some of the biggest, most amazing learnings I've had have come from pain, have its roots in that. And so if if we come at it with the attitude that pain is bad, it's wrong, it needs to be fixed, um, in some way, we send the message to ourselves too. We're actually saying, I'm wrong, like I am bad, I am not okay. And that ends up creating separation. And separation, in that space of separation, is where fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, all of that the seeds start to bloom. And I have a feeling that that's not what you want. I have a feeling when you have that pain, when seeing someone else in pain, it actually comes from a place of love and compassion. Like, because they're on some level, like, you have been there before, and you just want to give them a hug and let them know they're not alone, right? And so we have to unlearn actually, two things. One, that our belief system around pain and emotions that feel painful, that they're not bad, right? And number two, we we have to learn how to listen to that instead of going to that fixing mode. Listen to create understanding, because when we have understanding of ourselves, of another person, like real understanding, all of a sudden we're in a space where it doesn't need to be there doesn't nothing needs to be fixed. And in fact, it actually opens up choices, and realizing, wait, there's a choice on how I proceed. I can choose what to do in this space of pain. It doesn't need to We don't need to feel trapped or we're wrong. Like, we can open up to choice. Okay? And that makes all the difference. And I've been sharing this story and I'm going to share it now with that I learned from reading a book a couple months ago called Humankind: A Hopeful History. I highly recommend reading it. It's by Rutger Bregman. He's a Dutch author, and the interesting thing is that um, the the Dutch title to the book, when it's directly translated, it means most people are different, are decent. Sorry, most people are decent, and it's like, oh, yeah, totally, totally. When we come from that space, love it. So throwing that book out if you're needing something to read. And there's a story towards the end that just like, ugh, like it hit me hard, and it's been inspiring. Like it has just been fueling me. Um, and I think will continue to fuel me. So the story is there was a man who was held at knife point by a teen who was stealing his wallet. And you can only imagine like how scary that would be, right? And so the man, did exactly what the teen asked. And as the teen started to turn away and start to leave the situation, he called out to him, "Hey, do you also need my jacket?" And the teen turned back, kind of like it kind of it threw him off, because that's not usually what happens when you just steal someone's wallet, right? He was like, "What?" He's like, "Hey, do you need a jacket? I noticed that you don't have one, and since you were desperate enough to steal my wallet, I thought you probably are needing money, and it's cold out, and you don't have a jacket. Do you need my jacket as well?" And the teen actually walked back to him and was like, "What?" And they started talking, and that talking ended up, the man invited him to go have a coffee, and they chatted some more. And then at the end of their conversation, the the bill came, and the man said, "Well, I'd pay for this. I invited you. I'd love to pay for it, but you have my wallet. Um, how about this? If you give me back my wallet, I'll pay for this, and I'll give you $20." And the teen agreed, and and that was kind of the end of the story. But it struck me because to be in a situation that's going to be emotionally charged like that, and to be able to see a bigger picture, and for him to be able to say that to the teen and change, I can only imagine, changed both of their lives and rippled out as both of them continued on with their lives, right? um, that I was like, that's what I inspire to be. I want to be that person who is who knows myself and understands myself so well that even in a situation that is threatening, life or death, that I'm able to see a bigger picture and change the course of it, and relate to that other person on a human level, instead of it being one of fear. Like I want to do that. So yeah, so that's what even inspired me just to get on to talk about pain, because we all, that's part of the human experience. And if we can widen our view to realize we are interacting with other humans instead of interacting with an us versus them, like we have the power to change everything. So I'd love to hear what you think. Feel free to comment. Feel free to DM me. Like this is, to me, this is big. So thanks for listening. Namaste.